Hi, everybody. Okay, it's great to see all of you out there. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that the festival, thanks to the Disability Screen Office and Telefilm, has heightened its accessibility program to make sure that we are inclusive for all. And so, for anyone here who is blind or has low vision, I offer a self-description. I am a white woman with blonde hair, wearing a black suit, and standing at a podium. Last year on this stage, I burst into tears in front of hundreds of people. I had just been honored in a blanket ceremony at the Indigenous Screen Summit, thanking our team for what we've done to establish the ISS, which, by the way, is incredible, and it happens again here this afternoon. But here I was, wrapped in a blanket, and Lisa Meaches, one of our board members, was with me. She explained to the audience that the blanket pattern, a star, had special significance because it's believed that when someone is wrapped in a star blanket, they're enveloped by the presence and protection of their ancestors, and that by wrapping me in the blanket, it was a connection to my mother. Lisa knew that I had just lost my amazing mom to Alzheimer's not long before, and it was the kindest thing she could possibly say. It also broke me open. I did not keep it together. I'm barely keeping it together now. But on this stage last year, I sobbed in front of hundreds of people. I was so honored. I was so very, very honored, but I was also so not prepared to grieve in such a public way. I kind of beat myself up for losing composure, and that moment really stayed with me. As some of you know, an Indigenous blanketing ceremony is intended to show respect for those who have made an important contribution to the community. And before being honored in this way, I don't think I fully grasped how significant a role this festival plays in all of your lives, nor did I realize the depth of my own role. I have, right now, some of the most influential people in entertainment in the world gathered here and a captive audience. What do I want to say to you? So I think about the source of my strength, my mom, and how she taught me to use my privilege to make the world a better place. What's going on in the world right now is loud. A lot of it is scary and heartbreaking, and the pace is relentless, and people are overwhelmed by information, by polarization, by anxiety, by a constant sense that everything is shifting. In the middle of all of that, it turns out that what this festival is about, what you make, film and television and podcasts, YouTube, TikTok, and everything in between, doesn't just fill time for people. It fills minds, and it fills hearts, and that's power. And it comes with a responsibility. So right now, in many places around the world, and sometimes in our boardrooms and our living rooms, democracy and decency are being tested. People are being pulled apart not only by politics, but by algorithms, by misinformation, by cynicism, and by hate. In this environment, I think entertainment matters more than ever, because a great story can do what 1,000 headlines can't. It can change what leaders feel pressured to address. It can change what the public demands. It can change what a generation believes that it deserves. It can change the world. We've seen it happen. We've watched a documentary spark a movement. On this stage a few years ago, we honored the team behind Surviving R. Kelly. That series forced the public and prosecutors to finally take decades of allegations seriously, and a monster is now in prison. But it's not just the heavy stuff. We've also seen a comedy normalize conversations that people used to avoid, like Ted Lasso and mental health. And through Project for Awesome, brothers John and Hank Green mobilized millions of viewers and over $31 million for various causes, including global health initiatives such as reducing maternal and child mortality, demonstrating the power of creator communities to drive real-world impact. And then there's Canada's darling, Heated Rivalry. All right, let's give it up for Heated Rivalry. While it is undeniably a massive hit, what it also did was make the LGBTQ community feel seen, feel authentically and positively and joyfully represented. We've also seen the other side. We've seen content that divides and dehumanizes and distorts, and we've seen media used to spread fear. We've seen narratives that reinforce prejudice. We've seen how easily misinformation can be packaged as content. And that's why gatherings like this matter. The delegates at this festival, you, are doing so much more than just attending panels and pitching projects and chasing deals. We talk a lot about innovation, and we should. We're in a time of massive disruption. The platforms are changing, the business models are changing, the technology is changing, and the audience is changing. But the fundamental truth remains. Humans don't connect to platforms. They connect to characters, and they connect to emotion. And that connects us to each other. And that's what makes this room so important. So if you're here to make film or television or digital content or stories in any format at all, you should be proud of that, but also accountable to it. Because we're at a point where the stakes are rising. We're not just competing for attention. We're competing for truth. We're competing for empathy. And we're competing for what kind of society we want to live in. I know so many of you feel the same way that I do. You take the responsibility that you have as storytellers seriously. And so if I could wrap all of you in a star blanket, I would. Because honor and responsibility are inseparable in the blanket's meaning and teaching. And to be recognized is to be called to something. And that is the challenge the star blanket poses. It bridges past and present through fabric and thread and spirit, fostering pride in who we are and reminding us of our roots and our values. So as we begin this festival, I want to invite you to approach the next few days with ambition, not only creative ambition, but moral ambition. Make bold work, make entertaining work, make work that travels, and make work that delights. But make work that matters, because in the end, you're not just participants in a fast-changing industry. You are stewards of mass attention. And mass attention is now one of the most powerful forces in the world. The world is watching, not what you produce, but what you choose to prioritize. Use that power well. If you get it right, entertainment won't just reflect the world, it will help repair it. Welcome to the Banff World Media Festival. It's going to be an incredible few days.